All right, welcome back. The Nutter News 8. I'm your host, your gracious, passionate host, IHD, which stands for I Hate Dogs. I'm in the works. I'm looking for a more powerful word than hate. It doesn't hit hard enough anymore. And on this episode of Nutter News, as with all of them, I'm simply going over news, current news. And these are important because it documents how much of a problem dogs are in society. Really as simple as that. The media puts the reports out, and for a long time, nobody has been collecting them, studying them, and holding them up to scrutiny. So that's what I'm here to do. Let's start with this one. Roaming dogs kill up to 30 cats in one suburb as residents live in fear. Hey, fake experts, by the way. We also have many of the world's only dog attack experts in the chat room and in the comment section. That includes everybody with a badge and many more. Hey, fake experts. You telling us these dogs were in fear of these cats? It's important to point out because when they mention reasons why dogs attack, they never say because of bloodthirst. They never say that they attack just to bully other living beings, just to assert dominance. They never say that, even though that's a well-known reason why dogs attack in dog packs. It's crazy. Many of the reasons why they become aggressive in dog packs are ignored when these so-called experts are asked why dogs attack people. And I'm not going to allow that to happen. Look at this. Packs of unsupervised dogs. Notice how they immediately blame people. As if they would have been able to stop packs of dogs from attacking a cat. When a person sees a pack of dogs attacking anybody or anything, they're usually just going to stand back, watch, and wait till it's over. Very few people have the courage to try to get one dog off of an attack victim. Unsupervised. No, because see, this suggests that the solution is supervision. What are you talking about? For packs of dogs? What would a supervisor have done in this situation, sir? One thing we're tired of over here is fake experts. We're here to snatch your stripes. Now this story surfaced. That other story surfaced a few hours ago. And the same is the case with this one. This surfaced maybe 2-3 hours ago. A woman says 10-year-old son attacked, bitten 20 times by classmate's dog. Now, you young people, I told y'all, stay out of these people's homes. Don't ever go inside the home of a dog owner. I don't care if you have a dog at home. I don't care if you are or your parents are dog owners. Stay out of other people's homes. See, a lot of people tend to think that if they don't get attacked by one dog, then none of them going to attack them. They think that if they can walk up and pet and cuddle with their own dog, they can walk up and do it to any dog. And that's how a lot of nutters end up getting attacked, thinking they got control over the minds of all dogs. So, yet another prepubescent victim, 10-year-old, taken to hospital with serious injuries. Serious. Now look at the scenario surrounding the attack. Her son was playing at a classmate's house on April 3rd when he was attacked by their dog, a husky Akita. 10-year-old suffered several bites to his arms, some of which required stitches. He has 20 bites, stitches in both arms. Normally they don't stitch dog wounds, but these were tears down to the bone. They're worried about bone infection. Bone infection. You know why? Because everything that saliva touches, it destroys. Just like with its urine, just like with its excrement. Things are far too dangerous to have in society. She specified 2 boys were standing there, not wrestling around, just playing fetch with the worthless mutt. Then she said, out of nowhere, the dog just attacked them. Well, there you go. 2 boys in the backyard. Just the 2 boys out playing. The mother wasn't home yet. The father was in the house, not present in the backyard when the dog was out. Wouldn't have made no difference anyways. Only thing that would have done is allow him to see the attack. So, fake experts, I'm curious, how do y'all discover that these dog attacks were actually provoked? How do y'all go about finding this out with your magical selves? You magicians over there. I guess you're far more advanced than any other expert on the planet. Doing investigative work like that, what do you follow up on every attack? You go personally have an exchange with them, and you find out, their parents or whatever tell you, hey, it was really provoked. He was pulling on the ear. He was pulling on the tail. Yeah, they told you that personally, but didn't tell the media that. Didn't put that in the police report. That it was actually provoked. Boy, oh boy. This is why y'all have to be delegitimized. Can't make this up. Again, that was a few hours ago. Now, as y'all know, the Edmonton case is ongoing. From what I understand, they plan to live stream the funeral. And they're picking this guy's, the father, they're picking his statements apart, adding some clippets here and there. I want y'all to listen to this one. Actually, I want to respond to this one. Real brief.
That's the hardest thing I've ever been through in my whole life.
Whoa.
He says his son Cash was against the dog's owner, along the young boy who was known to have a big...
Their child like that. Nobody wants to see any child like that. But to have to be the parent and find your child like that, that's the hardest thing I've ever been through in my whole life.
He says his son Cash was kind, sweet, and loving. Cash was visiting his father from Osoyoos, BC for spring break. Wesley Grist says his son had known the dogs for more than a year and had been alone with them many times in the past. He says he was in the garage for no more than 10 minutes when he went into the house to check in on his son. He thought he heard a commotion and found his son seriously hurt in the kitchen. Grist says the dogs were good with his son. The animals belonged to his roommate, a longtime friend, and Grist is asking the public to show kindness toward her because that is what his son would want.
I think she's been facing a punishment just on what the guilt she feels, the fact that it was her dogs in her house, and because it was my son, you know, somebody that she cares about, and my son was somebody she cared about so much. 100%, I think she's beaten herself up enough about it.
This whole thing that he's, you know, trying to calm everybody down, trying to tell everybody to back off. She's beaten herself up enough. She doesn't deserve the backlash, the criticism. I mean, this just sounds like a weak person, a weak man right here. Just spineless. This is what happens. You have a senseless murder, which was a torture, and you don't want people to talk about what caused it so they can sidestep having this happen to them. Ultimately, what this is going to do is cause other owners of at least Cane Corso, it will possibly encourage other people who own 2 Cane Corso dogs. For whatever reason, a lot of dog owners like to own 2 dogs. And quite often the 2 dogs are the same breed. Well, when there's more than 1 dog, your chances of being attacked increases by 50%. That's when the pack mentality starts to build. This might encourage some of those owners, hey, let's get rid of these dogs, or hey, let's get rid of 1. What are you talking about? There's so many different reasons why we need to talk about the cause of death whenever it happens. What are you talking about? Be a man. How about that? Be a man. Stop crying. Stop complaining and tell the truth. It's so spineless, that kind of behavior. Could you guys just take it easy on her? Oh, her feelings hurt so bad. She already beat herself up about it. Shut up. Take that for backlash. Now, in other news, pet owners, we know that means dog owners. Dogs getting attacked is on the rise due to Houston's animal overpopulation crisis. Okay, now what does that mean? This surfaced yesterday. What does that mean? Ain't it crazy how we have to decode so much stuff in dog culture? They're never straightforward and honest. Now, again, when you see the word pet, replace it with the word dog. Dog owners. Dogs getting attacked on the rise due to Houston's dog overpopulation crisis. Especially with Houston, what are you talking about? Been talking about Houston for a long time. A lot of attacks come out of there. Texas, period. Dog owners and dogs getting attacked on those? No. Well, if that's the case, if attacks are going up because there are more dogs, what does that tell you? It means that when dogs are in society, a certain number of them are going to launch attacks yearly. It's going to happen every year. It's got nothing to do. And what's going to happen if you reduce the dog population? The only thing that could happen is that attacks go down, but they're not going to disappear. Y'all know that. This is why I don't like. No attacks should be the goal. I don't like the way they talk as if, some number of attacks is okay or acceptable. No, it's not, because many times it's somebody's neighbors. It's somebody who can't control their environment and can't fight off the attack. That's against the law, according to your own laws. Keep that in your face. Okay? My desire to see dogs removed from the community largely has to do with them breaking the law. That's what I'm saying. If I got to follow the law, adhere to the law, and so do y'all. I ain't trying to hear that. Boardman police, wait a minute. Warren police investigate 2 dog bite complaints. This surfaced about 2-3 hours ago, where it said a dog attacked a woman walking another dog in the area. Dog owners, I really don't understand their behavior. When you're a dog owner, the chances of you being attacked is higher. Don't y'all ever take that into consideration? You purchase or acquire a small, raggedy, worthless mutt, and you want to go take it walking. Why don't you consider this? Because when there's a person walking a dog, they are attacked the most, seems like. You're always hearing stories like this. Walking a dog. Dog came out of nowhere. Launched an attack. Put yourselves at risk. And yet they must not mind. They don't mind. They don't care. Look up the definition of psychopath, of sociopath. I'm talking to the dog lovers. Consider the possibility that you may need professional help. You may need therapy. I think we all need therapy in some way. That's got to be a part of our life goal. It has to be a goal for everybody. Get your mental health in order. 15-year-old boy attacked by pit bull in Ghaziabad. Stray dogs come to his rescue. Now, I know some of you seen this story circulating. I don't believe it. I watched the video, and it didn't look like that boy was under attack. It was a strange looking video. Oh, what happened to it? It's gone now. I had it up here. Okay, here's the Twitter. Let me show y'all this, because this is making the rounds on the internet. This case. Dog runs to the boy's rescue. Okay. Let me know when the dog latches on to him. Look like he playing. That's not how pit bulls attack. It's not. Y'all saw it's not him latched onto him. Look like he playing. It looked like that boy faked that attack. You ain't just gonna get up, especially not no boy, get up and just walk away from no pit bull attack. And what happened was those 2 stray dogs, one of the stray dogs came up and bit that dog on the hind leg. That was a case of that dog trying to get the pit bull off of his food source, off of his source food. The victim that those stray dogs plan on attacking later that night. They're like, hey, get off our food. Another thing, in situations like this, dogs just like to involve themselves in violence anyways. It don't matter. Like if there are 2 dogs in the pack fighting, other dogs watching will sneak in a few bites and nips. Lions do it too. Watch lions fight. Quite often they'll end up, the onlookers will end up biting, several of them will end up biting the animals that are engaged in the fight. Why they do that, I don't know, but who cares? Worthless mutts ain't try to save that boy. And it don't even look like that boy was under attack. Dog wasn't latched onto him at all. Do y'all not know how these attacks go down when they involve a pit bull? That thing latched onto you, can't get it off. He wouldn't have just casually stood up and walked away. Goofballs. But you see, nutters, they're always desperate to push some type of story like this where some dogs came to the rescue. They always trying to project dogs as the saviors of children, when the truth is that they attack children far more often than anything else. And they're the only creatures that causes such severe injuries, torture them to death each time they kill them. I ain't trying to hear that. This thing is not even latched onto him. That boy was faking. And that's why these adults was just looking. Because they didn't know what to make of what they were looking at. Like it looked like an attack, but the dog is not biting them. What is this? Yeah. So I don't know about that. No, nutters. Give it up. Stop trying to project these things as heroes, saviors, and especially don't project them as protectors of children. The nerve of these people. The nerve of these people. I don't care how many dogs you've seen protect a child. These things are the number one attackers of children, and that's all that matters. All this so-called protecting that y'all talking about is null and void. And it quite often turns out to be the dog wasn't protecting at all. Even that dog, we went over it already, where the dog came from across the street. Dogs just like to involve themselves in violence, period, because they're so obsessed with it. Obsessed with violence, just like they're obsessed with food. Now, I talked about this with the members last night, or actually a few hours ago. I may have actually pulled up a video. We'll get to that later. We'll go to this story as I find this other
dog attack. Veterinary is now caring for the animal after it was found on the side of the road in Hollywood suffering from a very severe injury.
This is just incredible. Local 10's Leanne Warholm joins us live from Pembroke Pines with how you could perhaps help out this poor little pooch on his road to recovery. Pretty much amazing this dog is still alive.
Yeah, absolutely. These are very serious injuries. And the police and the vet all say they don't know exactly what happened at this point. There's no video or no eyewitness account to corroborate exactly how this dog was injured. But it's the medical director here at Sunshine Animal Hospital, his expert opinion, that says that something very sharp, such as a machete, was used to slice that wound across that dog's back.
This sweet Staffordshire Terrier is named Hunter. She's now recovering from painful injuries after being found with a large gaping wound and unable to walk.
It was awful. And I brought her here to Sunshine Animal Hospital.
Cindy Hunt says she found Hunter early Friday morning in Hollywood along the 6100 block of Madison Street. Hollywood police found Hunter early Friday.
You see, that's how it goes. These worthless, bloodthirsty mutants, they go around launching unprovoked attacks. I just showed y'all that story where they're just roaming around attacking cats. Already have attacked over 30 cats. And after someone defends themselves, like in this case, possibly with a machete, chop that mutt across the back, maybe across the head in self-defense, then those dogs walk around looking like this, trying to act pitiful. And the nutters look at them and say, oh, look at the victim.
morning in Hollywood along the 6100 block of Madison Street. Hollywood police are now investigating.
We're just trying to identify whose dog this is, if anybody saw what happened to this dog.
Hunter was unable to walk. Her flesh split open across her back. The injuries so graphic.
Flesh split open. They're never that descriptive when they're talking about a dog attack on the youth. And never. Oh, a 2-year-old's flesh was hanging out of his body. They're very careful not to paint that kind of picture into the mind of the public.
We're blurring them for television.
It looks like it was a machete injury in his legs, and it was deep and several muscles were torn.
She underwent a 2-hour surgery Friday under the care of Dr. Ember Moreno.
Look at this sick. How when they find these dogs, even fighting breeds at that, they patch him back up and put it in somebody else's home. And sit back and wonder why attacks are going up. When their own experts say if it's gone through traumatic experience in its past, it could attack in the future for no reason. And these idiots, they just keep doing this. Don't know nothing about that dog's history.
Dr. Ember Moreno.
She's very sweet. She's
No.
very gentle.
It just hasn't attacked you yet. Genius. They're always what you're calling sweet until they are not. That's how it happens. What is wrong with y'all? You got all these attacks, 14,000 in the USA a day. All 14 were sweet before they launched their attacks. So stop with this sweet nonsense. God, they make me sick with that. It's sweet. It's sweet. No, it just hasn't attacked anybody yet. Fool.
Two-hour surgery Friday under the care of Dr. Ember Moreno.
She's very sweet. She's a very gentle dog.
She'll be operated again Friday to repair a torn ACL.
It hurts. It is very sad.
Hunter's prognosis is good, but the price of her care is climbing.
I said, we have to try to help this dog in any way.
Cindy Muchacho with iHeart Rescue is.
They haven't started to call this dog a victim yet, but they're treating it like a victim. Don't know what happened. If dogs can get this type of biased treatment in media coverage, don't say nothing about what I do. This is ridiculous.
Is helping, as is the Brady Hunter Foundation.
Our foundation is focused
Garbage, an abomination.
on two main things, helping animals and helping children.
That don't mix. You can't help the killers of children and think you're doing something. What are you talking about?
Helping animals and helping children.
This is what our foundation exists for, precisely for this purpose, to help the voiceless and the vulnerable. So that's exactly what we're doing.
To help what?
This purpose, to help the voiceless and the vulnerable.
Help the voiceless and the vulnerable. And put the camera on the dog. These things are not vulnerable. What are you talking about? These are the predators. These are the ones that initiate violence. Each and every time, dogs are the ones that initiate violence. They always start it. Always. Always. They're the aggressor in every single case. You understand that, nutters? Get that through your thick skull. Dogs are always the aggressors. Be calling these things vulnerable. Talking about dogs and kids in the same sentence. Which one is vulnerable? If you got a mutt, that mutt y'all got here in a room with a youngster, one of them get attacked. which one of them do you think is gonna get attacked? Voiceless, get out of here. See, these little goofy slogans are dying. They're dying, along with dog culture.
Voiceless and the vulnerable. So that's exactly what we're doing.
So there's a few ways to help, right? Obviously,
Who
these
cares? Who cares? Shut up. Nasty dog culture. Worshipping these worthless mutants. At our own detriment. Can't make this up. Now, there was another situation took place here in Ohio. Police investigate dog attack report of shots fired in the house. Okay. Shots fired in the house.
Investigating a dog attack inside a house this noon. And there were also reports of shots fired. All of this happened just within the last hour on Wilda Avenue. First News reporter Nadine Grimley joins us live with what she learned. Nadine?
Well, Anna, I'm live here on Wilda Avenue, where Boardman detectives are still trying to piece together the events leading up to two men needing to go to the hospital for treatment of dog bites. Now, as you can see behind me, it's still a pretty active scene here on Wilda Avenue, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looked like earlier this morning when we arrived here. Officers say that they were responding to a report that an aggressive dog was attacking multiple people inside the home. Officers say while they were on their way, it was reported that shots were fired inside the house.
A bunch of idiots. That was the family dog. Ain't no stray dog just wander inside their house. That was a family dog. There you go. You see, young people, you hear that? That family dog that you think is harmless and won't ever attack you, think again.
When officers got to the home, an injured dog was spotted in the backyard and went back into the house. Officers were told there may be another man inside who was bitten and unaccounted for. Police say he was found locked in a basement. Deputy Dog Warden Dave Nelson says the injured dog
locked in a basement. Inside the home, grown men running in rooms, locking the door. And they tell us that these are the same people that should be present when the dog is around, and that if these people are present, you're safe. Y'all believe that, young people? Or young people, you have these adults bringing dogs around you, telling you to pet it and all this kind of stuff. Listen to this. Those same adults, if those dogs become aggressive, those same adults trying to project themselves as a protector of you run in fear too. You don't got to believe me.
Was also in the basement. Responders were able to secure the dog in a cage. Nelson says it appears that animal was shot in the leg. Now, officers were able to get the man out of the home. That man and another adult were both taken to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. Now, we'll continue to follow.
Yeah. Multiple grown, burly, dusty men running in fear, locking themselves in rooms, and now going to the hospital. These dogs send grown men to the hospital just like they send y'all to the hospital. Y'all better stay away from these things. Stop thinking that you're safe just because some adults are there. That's the favorite go-to by the fake professionals. Make sure an adult is present. You still ain't safe. Stay away from them.
What unfolded here on Wilda Avenue this morning, but for now, live in Boardman, Nadine Grimley, WKBN 20.
Yeah. This surfaced about 3 hours ago. So it's already getting a little warmer. And you can see that, they're acting up again. Seems to be an uptick in attacks, in dog attacks. So yeah, y'all heard the story where the Edmonton case, where the 11-year-old was killed. Earlier this year, there were 2 separate attacks, right? The lady in that case, or one of the victims in these other attack cases by those same 2 cane corsos, she has now decided to press charges. Yes. And she only made the decision to do this after this case surfaced of the 11-year-old being killed. Right? And to me, that is interesting, because I suspect that she might sense that there's some lies floating around here involving this case, and it is infuriating. Simple as that. It's infuriating to see this go on, because in those previous cases, those dogs got away with it. Just like we know how people are with dogs. It's very easy for them to get away after launching multiple attacks. And then to sense, okay, because if you ask me, I suspect there was foul play. I suspect foul play. I'm not buying the father, period. Several things he said sound goofy, don't make sense. I suspect foul play. If no lawyers have taken a look at this case yet, then it's a wrap for us. Society, the system does not work. It doesn't work. Even though our tax dollars keeping it going. Why doesn't our tax dollars provide a way for dog culture critics to be free of dogs? Why doesn't our tax dollars go into spaces where no dogs are allowed? Why take our money and make it mandatory that dogs can go and be anywhere they want? Yeah, that's not what my tax dollars should be used for. They need to do this sooner than later. We need dog-free sections of cities. You shouldn't have to move to a different state or city. Should be one in your town. No dogs allowed. I'm sick of living around these dog lovers, dog owners. I'm sick of dogs, period. Sick of them. They even drive y'all crazy. So I don't want to hear it, dog lovers. Every time you turn around, there's a dog owner beating their own dog's brains out. What little worthless brains they have. Slapping them across the face with frying pans. Beating them to death with baseball bats. Y'all sick of these things too. But you're under such a spell you can't even articulate it. Can't even get out your mouth. Cannot make this up. All right. I'm off to work. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for joining Nutter News 8. And I hope you can join me on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.